You know, I was gonna start off this video singing and jamming to Happily Ever After, but cut the cameras, okay? I can't catch a break with TXT and BTS for that matter, but that's for a separate video for a separate time and place. Okay. Yes, I have seen Gum Gum. I loved the music video. I think Yeonjun did great. It could be a little bit better, but again, different time, different story, different video. So I haven't even gotten my Gum Gum album. I haven't even got my plushies from their new cartoon character line that they have now. I haven't even gotten that. And now you're gonna wait until I have part 8 to record to announce Sanctuary? And yes, I've seen it. I've seen it all. What do you take me for? Some new Moa? No, I am a little bit seasoned. I think I've earned the right to say I'm a seasoned Moa after all these videos. Anyways, okay, listen. I think Sanctuary proves my point, which is why I'm not going to change my timeline or anything that I've said thus far. And I have seen the photo with the subway thing, and I think it does a full circle and again explains everything that I've been talking about. But still, I'm closing off this video here for y'all to know, okay? But if Sanctuary comes out with some new lore, it's going to be a separate thing. It's going to be a separate playlist because, girly, I'm tired, okay? With all that being said, cue the intro. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to my comfy corner where I talk about things that make me comfy and cozy so I can stop bothering people around me. And today, intro aside, yeah, I'm a little bit upset, but I have calmed down. I have drunk some water, okay? I am here to finally wrap up this whole breaking down and ordering with slime series with this part 8, which is really crazy because I started off this YouTube talking about TXT and now I'm back and talking about it again and I'm ending it off. And this was going to be a bittersweet moment, but again, I think I've summed it up in my intro, how I feel about Sanctuary being released. So I'm not going to touch on that. We're going to move on. Some couple of notes. First off, if this is your first time seeing my face in space and place, stop, drop, roll, and shimmy your way over. You could hammer walk, okay, over to my very first part, or you could look at my TXT lore breakdown without breaking down the music videos and songs, even though I did anyway, but not as deep dive as this. I'm really thinking about, like, for the end of this, compiling all of my breaking down series. It's already in a playlist, like compiling all into like one hefty video that you just watch while you're just doing your daily activities, because it's going to be a lot. But also for those that want to be prepared for Sanctuary to come out and who want to go down a deep lore as me. Other things to note. If you see me looking down here, if you see me looking over there, that's me looking at my notes. Even though I say I have notes, I tend to not stick onto them, and that's fine. That's what you're here for. The chaotic energy, that is me. Also, if it looks like the lighting is changing, I'm really trying to find the best time to record, but I don't really have the time to wait for that golden hour of time to record. So if you see the light change, no, you didn't. And also, Dave is still with me. Yes, he's here. And if you don't get the reference, again, please look at my previous videos. But Dave will be here until eternity. And honestly, I was really thinking like, man, after this part, will I get rid of this iconic wall? And honestly, I feel like it should stay just for the iconicness of it all. Like, I give you production. I give you drama. I give it to you every time, okay? What if what am I supposed to put here? Right. Anyways, with all of that being said, I know you guys have been waiting for this, so I will not dilly-dally any longer. Should I even do a recap of what happened last time? Probably. So I'm going to pass it over to Recap Tiana in case you missed what happened last part or you just need a refresher. Okay, so this is Recap Tiana coming in hot, telling you what happened last part for those that need a refresher and reminder. So remember now, the boys have decided that they are going to make their way home. Remember, Yeonjun and Subin had their little scribble scrapple and the killer, and Subin finally smacked some sense into Yeonjun, which again, side note, Tiana here, genuinely, as much as I love my Subini and as much as I love all the boys equally, but obviously I don't have favorites, but if I did, these are the two. I don't understand why Tay Tay does not have more like slap a bitch energy, because that's what I would assume he has. So it's wild to me that Subini is the one that smacks some sense into Yeonjun when honestly Tay Tay should, because again, Remember, I keep reiterating this. Tay Tay did not want any of this tea and drama and mess. He was dragged into this, like literally dragged into this. Look back at my previous videos if you don't remember from Sugar Rush Ride. So it's like, you were okay. I get that you're on Tay Tay's, like maybe Tay Tay's just not vocal in the story. Anyways, so Subin was finally able to talk some sense into Yeonjun. All the boys are deciding that it's time to grow up and that they need to leave Cat Island. Cat tries to seduce them one last time with Back for More and be like, oh, do you really want to leave? When you get older, you're going to miss me. But they're like, no, I'm putting my foot down. And Yeonjun has that iconic moment when he closes the door on the cat. Good for you, baby boy. It took you long enough. And now they're enacting the steps that I have explained in the last part, which is they need to call on the Moa star's name. We are Moa, Moa's us, we are the star, to wake it up. And then also that enacts the train to come back to life. At the end of the last video, I was debating on if they hop on the train or if they walk the train tracks. For just the drama and tea of it all, I'm going to say they walk the train tracks. Yeah, so they all get back to their own worlds. What I didn't mention is I think that when Yeonjun gets back to his world, it's still like a black mess or like a destructo, a la what's the music video opening sequence. Let's go with that for now, and then if I'm wrong, I'm gonna probably put the real name here. So yeah, I feel like it's probably rubble and destruction, but I will get into later what I think his world turns into in this video. And yeah, so they all get sent back to their own home worlds, and they are trusting that they are each going to walk the train tracks to Magic Island to fully enact it and get it back to lovely Magical Island. Because remember, this is what it looks like now. This is what we want to get to right here, back to square one. Yeah. And that is the recap. So let's get into the very first song in the last part. All right. If you haven't noticed, I try to wear and look similar to what I started off with in the video, and I can't remember what I wore and what I played with initially in the first video, but we're just going to keep rolling with it because time is limited and Sanctuary is coming out soon, and I really wanted to get this video out before that comes out. So I will be playing with Slime Obsidian's Melted Ice Cream because that's one of my favorites to play with, and if you see me activate it, don't mind me. And if you see me playing with it, I have a table down here. So the very first song is Moa Diary. Now, I put Moa Diary here not because it's a throwaway, but I feel like Moa Diary has such a celebratory thing. And remember, the big thing is that they need to call on the star's name. So I would assume once they get to the island, they have to call on the star one last time to like fully awake it, maybe. So yeah, Moa Diary is just a celebration of Moa. It's the do ba do wadi wadi do ba do wadi. So it's like a celebration song. This is the celebration arc. So I'm assuming like this is the song that plays when they all like enact and do what they're supposed to do for the for getting the star to fully wake up and also get things back to where we are. So yeah, not too much to say about the Moa Diaries, but that is that. Okay, next up is one of my faves from one of their newer albums, Happily Ever After. Love on my day, la 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 la. Yeah, it's just a celebration. It's a bop of a song. Okay, listen to it if you haven't. And I was really upset that they didn't perform this at the US concert, but they did on their Asian tour. But you know what, that's okay. I'll forgive you if Sanctuary is what I think fits in my timeline. Maybe they watch my videos. Maybe the people who did it are watching my videos or watched my initial video and was like, you know what, she's cooking. Let's feed off of that energy. A girl could only be so delusional. So yeah, basically Happily Ever After, again, like the Moa Diary celebration. It is them being happy that they're back to Magic Island. Magic Island looks like this now. It doesn't look like this doom and gloom. It looks like happy celebration times, right? And also in Happily Ever After, if you listen to the lyrics, it's them not only being happy that they're back at Magic Island and they're not at Cat Island anymore, but they're celebrating the highs and the lows about living life and being a human being and not being stuck in Dreamworld forever. Like, they appreciate, you know, making mistakes, failing, having those bad days, because those good days mean so much more to you. And I love that for them. Happily Ever After is such a beautiful song. without this context, but with the context, it adds so much. Like, it's such a culmination of a song. Like, this is what you would play at the end credits of a movie after everything that they went through, for sure. So yeah, they're all celebrating again at Happy Magic Island. Stars awake, alive, hills are alive. We're all happy and singing. And yeah, that's essentially what Happily Ever After is. And now, in my headcanon with Happily Ever After, and after this section, the boys actually grow up, because remember we started this off with them being in high school. In my mind, I'm assuming they were freshmen in high school, because that's usually the most awkward stage in a teenager's life, aside from like being a senior in high school. Because think about it, like when you move to high school, you may be going to a new high school, you may be going through puberty, so you look different than what you did in middle school. There's different emotions and friend dynamics, there's different classes that you're taking. So that's why I felt like the start was them freshman year. But then at the end of it, and I'm going to assume for Sanctuary, they're going to be like either their senior year or like their third year in high school. I forget that Korean schooling system doesn't have 4 years. I believe they have 3. So like this is their last year of high school and they're about to grow up, or this is their first year out of high school. And that's Sanctuary. Again, on top of me ending this, I'm preemptively giving my theories on what Sanctuary is going to be. So just follow me, camera. But yeah, that is Happily Ever After. Okay, next up. I know what you're thinking, Tiana. We're all having a grand old celebration and this is a great old time. But you said that last part, because you guys looked at my last part, because you guys have watched all of my parts. That's what I'm assuming since you got this far. But you said last part that the cat isn't dead. The cat is still existing. So like, what is the cat doing? I'll tell you what the cat's doing, okay? So remember, Yeonjun's whole power is one, that he has dominion and control over the cat, but also I feel like his crown and power, like the basis of his crown and power is that he's able to like make worlds and recreate his own world. So like he's essentially like either the king or the prince of the dream world, which is like a crazy thing to be and a crazy power to have, and nobody explained that to you, because I genuinely think up until this point no one really explained to Yeonjun. It was like, hey, just letting you know, there's going to be this cat that you have dominion rule over, and you being like over that cat and ruling over that cat means that you have the power to make your own dream worlds in this dream world, or like your own islands in your dream world, and you can recreate your own. So again, crazy, I know, but just we're going with this theme and shape. So what I think after they got Magic Island fully awake, remember all the boys have their powers fully restored. I think that Yeonjun finally realizes his power and is able to basichave make his own new magical island. Now, what I mean by this is, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna get to the song, but it's going to be the last time I talk about this until Sanctuary. Let me have this. I miss you guys. What I think happens is when he went back to his own dream world, it was like disheveled rubble pile, maybe even on fire, which would also be really crazy. But I think that his original dream island is dead. It's gone. It's not coming back to life at all, right? However, I think that he then makes a new island and resides there. So now he has like a new server, if you will. Like he has a new Minecraft server, and that's where he spawns whenever he logs into his Minecraft. Like that's sort of what's going on right here. So I think not only that, but I think that Magic Island right now looks probably something more that like a culmination of what the boys want. But remember, it's still based off of him. And I talked about that in my previous parts as well, where I realized that Magic Island before Cat Island came in was a little bit like resembled more Yeonjun's feelings and thoughts and things. But now I feel like in a happy world, Magic Island still is probably like a beautiful, magical, like big place, but they probably have their own little sections to hang out at, so that way they don't have to hang out with each other all the time. So again, Tiana, what does this have to do with the cat, and what does this have to do with anything about this next song? The song is What If I Was That Puma, or What If I Was a Puma. Now, after everything we went through, after all the trials and tribulations, after the boys being trapped for God knows how long, I don't know if their parents cared or if they were just stuck in like a dream state, were they dead in real world? Like, we don't know. Okay, we don't know the specifics of it all. Like, maybe this was all happening in dream world, and for them it feels like it's been ages, but really time hasn't gone past in real world. Who knows, right? But after everything that the boys went through, you would think that they would like kill the cat, or the cat would just be banished forever because of all the pain and trouble that they put these boys through, especially Yeonjun, because the cat like messed with Yeonjun the most and manipulated Yeonjun the most. But what if I Was a Puma is about Yeonjun having the audacity, the sheer audacity to tell the boys, you know what, I feel bad for the cat. What if I was the cat? What if you were the cat? When you want to be forgiven and given a second chance, all the cat really wanted to do was keep us together forever and keep our promise, but like wanted to be the main character and also trap us in like a hellscape dream world where we just enacted all the scenarios that he wanted. Is that so bad? Wouldn't you want forgiveness if that's what you did and that's how you felt? Because I relate to the cat. And I imagine in like the speech as well, he's probably bringing up Hyun and Kai, which again, leave my baby Winky boy alone. He's not like you, and you're not like him. But anyways, that's essentially what that song is. Is like, what if I was that Puma? What if I was that cat? Like, wouldn't you want some forgiveness? I feel like we shouldn't exclude the cat, and that we should keep the cat. Like, I think that we should not kill the cat. And the next song, or the next two songs, will be their response, which I'm gonna give you like a second to think what their response would be to that song. Just leaving that out there. Okay, so the next song is Can't We Keep the Puma? So if you guessed that their reaction would be like, hell no, you're absolutely wrong. They actually are convinced by Yeonjun. Maybe his power is also like persuasion. Maybe he has like a perfect D20 persuasion for these boys, because especially for Tay Tay. Like, Tay Tay, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna calm down. Can't We Keep the Puma is essentially Yeonjun saying what I just said in the last song, but the boys actually believing and feeling and conceiving and believing. Like, I can't. I feel like maybe the cat makes his return, but like the cat is actually positive in Sanctuary. Maybe, who knows? Maybe the cat has learned his lesson. At this point, I feel like it's just a plot hole open, so that way they have a new season of the same bullshittery, but a different scenery. So yeah, the boys actually get convinced to not kill the cat and not banish the cat. So now the cat is just Yeonjun's pet in Magic Island and resides on Magic Island, but it's now good because they believe, for some reason, that Yeonjun can now tame the cat. Maybe their thought process is, if Yeonjun gets out of line, Subin can smack some sense into him like he did in The Killa. So I guess maybe like Subin is now the guardian of Yeonjun and Yeonjun is now the guardian of the cat, and the cat is being tamed by both Subin and Yeonjun. Sure. But yeah, that's essentially what's happening in Can We Keep the Puma? Which is, it's not about me. It's not. It baffles me how we got here in the songs. But that's what it is. The cat is still alive and well. The cat is having a fun time in Magical Island, but now is magically good. Even though, again, dropped a huge banger of Back for More. But that's that. So next will be the final song of this part. Okay, the very, very last song is going to be Blue Spring. And there's so many reasons why this is the last song. One is because, remember, Blue Hour represents them in dream world, and remember, summer represents like, you know, their fun times. Remember, winter represented them being frozen in time, them not having fun, them not being able to do what they want to do, right? I discussed all of this before in my previous parts, but Blue Spring is a mix of that, where it's like, it's the good and the bad. Like, spring is not only like, you know, going outside weather, like this is, you know, after winter, right? but it's right before summer. So like it's that in between of taking the good and the bad. It's such a beautiful song. It is such a gorgeous song. Please listen to it. I know that I get hype about like the absolute bangers and like ass shakers of the TXT songs, but I truly appreciate just the beautiful melodies of it. But aside from that, I was again able to see the Act Sweet tour last year, and that was my first time going to a TXT concert. Listening to any TXT music, believe it or not, was last year. Thanks again, friends, for dragging me. You have now enabled all of me in all of this pandemonia. But at the end of the concert, they sung an unreleased song at the time, which was Blue Spring. And then at this concert, they not only had like a fan cam of like, oh, remember what happened last year and you guys were surprised everyone loved you so much here in America and you had such a great time and now you're back. Look how far you've grown. But they also closed out the concert with Blue Spring. And that was such an emotional moment, not only for the boys, but just for the fans following, because it's like they didn't think, I won't say they didn't think they'd get this far. Obviously, they had all the tools of success and they're all very talented as boys. I'm talking in real world, not in the lore, right? But same token, like that was their first US tour, if memory serves me right. So to see how their fandom has grown and to see how they've grown and to throw it back to a song as beautiful as Blue Spring, I think was very monumental and important. So anyways, I would like to follow suit of what they have done and end off this entire series of breaking down and ordering every TXT song with Slime with Blue Spring. It is such a gorgeous song. It is such a, just listen to it when you're having one of those days, man. It is so beautiful. And again, they just enjoy life separate as individuals, but know that they could come back together at Magic Island and play and talk about everything that they got up to. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Conclusion Tiana without crying. Okay. This is really the end. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me for this whole series, rewatching previous parts if you haven't remembered or gone. Starting off with the very first video that I have made. Of course, it wasn't landscape. I learned lessons, okay? I learned my lesson of not doing it that way, but this way. So that way it's a full screen. But truly, to end out this series in part and get all my thoughts and blurbs and everything that I've wanted to say about the TXT lore has been such a fun time. This YouTube channel, like I said, is for me to talk about things when I understand people may not have the time or interest to listen to me fully. And it's just been great. And I have learned and I have grown with editing videos and how to try to stay clear and concise. Still working on that, but also you're here for my rambles anyway. But if anything that you got out of my videos, I hope that you get that one. I'm very passionate about the things that I love, but I hope that you understand that like TXT is so much more than just talented boys performing on stage and doing stuff. Like I have really grown as a person over the year, but like I have so many of their songs and music videos tied and connected to so many important things in my life that is crazy. So if you sat through 8 parts of me talking about the boys and the lore and you disagree with me, that's hilarious. But make sure you put your theories in the comment section. And if you have any questions or things that I missed, maybe I could do like a bonus video of just addressing some concerns and comments and questions that you guys might have. Or maybe I just might bother my sister because she's high tea. But she's been the main one watching and questioning everything that I talked about. But yeah, this is really the end. Until Sanctuary, girl. But with all of that sappy stuff out the way, thank you again so much for making it this far to the video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more and see what other new crazy wiki see me series that I'm going to start next. And with all of that being said, I will see you in the next video. Bye!